These days, we have the most cutting-edge smartphones from big brands like Samsung, Apple, and Xiaomi. Sony Xperia line is responsible for setting one of the biggest trend in smartphone industry, which was actually good for consumers and not pretentious, like Apple and Samsung. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing okay. This is Roghat and welcome to this video where I analyze what happened to one of my most favorite smartphone brands of all time. I have known the Xperia line since 2013 when they came out with Xperia Z and later that same year with Xperia Z1. It should have been Z2, I know, confusing name scheme, but we'll get to that later. Although not the first water-resistant phone, but it was definitely the mainstream phone that made water resistance and waterproofing a trend. It gave customers enhanced value proposition for their money and more value in general. After just a number of iterations of their flagships, Samsung came out with the Galaxy S5 in 2014 that had a removable back but was also water resistant. Hence started the waterproofing trend, which continues to this day, and I honestly think that this is a pro-consumer move for once. Xperia Z had a glass design with consistent construction and polished frames. Back then when competitors were using plastic for even their most premium flagships. Since the very beginning, Sony Xperia was very inefficient in the marketing department. I don't know whether it was intentional or unintentional, but since 2012 they haven't advertised or endorsed their smartphones that much, and maybe rightfully so, because we're talking about a company that owns the IP PlayStation. According to my estimate, they're not gonna last long if they keep up the current strategy or the lack thereof. Let's look at the product lineup. Okay, we start off with every alphabet that you can possibly imagine. Xperia V, J, TX, SP, L in the late 2000s, but in the beginning of the next decade, they got their act together and launched an amazing smartphone called Xperia Z, and then came Z1. It should have been Z2, but not as bad as before. Then came the Z2. Now, what comes after Z2? Z2A, that's right. Their release cycle was not consistent at all. Sometimes they would release 2 premium flagship phones in a year, but other times they would only release 1 flagship phone a year. Okay, then came Xperia Z3 and things were looking up for once. But what comes after Z3? Z5, that's right. Then came XZ, XA, XZ1, XZ2. Now, what comes after XZ2? Xperia 10, that's right. It seems like whoever is in charge of naming these smartphones has a memory of a 2-year-old and they hate numbers. Then Xperia 1, then Xperia 5, and then Mark series came. I don't see a single advantage as to why would you implement this naming scheme. Combine the god-awful naming scheme with horrible marketing, and then you got a recipe for disaster and loss of market share. Another 2 big reasons are their inability to update their designs and huge price tags. The latest flagship from Sony is Sony Xperia 1 Mark III. I can't even with this name. Anyways, this is the latest and greatest flagship from Sony with all the bells and whistles. It's $1,700 Australian. I understand that this is geared towards a professional crowd with high-end camera features and 4K high refresh display, but a company who's not that well known in general offering an even nichier product. Think about that price tag. It doesn't even fold into a tablet. It doesn't even fold into half. Xiaomi and Samsung are providing insanely cheap smartphones and mid-range smartphones with amazing camera. I don't want to say it, but I think Sony is heading down the same path as LG, HTC, Nokia, Blackberry, and many others like them. The only way they can come back if they get their marketing strategy straight, undercut its competition in price, offer their unique and unibody design with minimal bezels, and launch categorical products consistently. But that's highly unlikely. In conclusion, this company innovated a lot, but now it seems like they're not even trying anymore. And if Sony's smartphone division goes out of business, it's not because of the competition, it's because of their own mistakes and their own decisions. As an Xperia lineup fan, I really hope that they can make some informed and competent decisions and get back to their roots. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys later.